Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Disco Kitty the Crappy Crafter. Today we're going to be playing with some resin. I've got these out again. I know, I just used them 2 weeks ago. But today we're going to do something similar but different. So we've got the plastic wrap and we're going to, whoops, cat hair. We're going to fill these up halfway and then we're going to put a little layer of plastic wrap on it and then we're going to let it cure. And then we're gonna put some multi-chrome powder on it, and then we're gonna finish it off, and then we're gonna see what it looks like, and we're gonna have fun. We're gonna do this thing, and we're excited, and let's just get right into it. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do before I make the resin, because that would be silly, is I'm going to cut out a couple pieces of plastic wrap. And I am using saran wrap because that's just what I happen to have. And I don't know, it may be a little bit thin to do what I want to do. We'll see why later. I might want to use a thicker plastic wrap next time. I'm not really sure. We'll see. But you want to cut it a little bit bigger so that it has lots of room to wrinkle. First layer is going to be clear because we're going to want to be able to see the wrinkles. So the first layer, which is the bottom of the mold, but will be the top of the piece, will be clear. And remember, mix for at least 3 minutes, constantly scraping the sides and the bottom the whole time. Lots and lots of mixing. Minimum 3 minutes. And then I am going to put it in a little vacuum chamber, and it's going to work fairly well. You know, there's still going to be bubbles when I take it out. There's going to be lots of little micro bubbles. The only way to really truly get rid of micro bubbles is to either use a real vacuum chamber, because this works, but it only goes up to a certain amount. It could be better, but it was good for the price. I have a real vacuum chamber set up. I haven't actually set it up, but I was cleaning out the cat hair because we definitely don't want cat hair in the clear part. That would be silly. Pour it in very slowly. This is 2 times. And then this is like 4 times speed. Yeah, just pour it in real slow. It'll help keep the bubbles down. Of course, there will always be bubbles though. And I did make too much. The first time I measured these, I thought that they were, held a certain amount. And then when I measured them this time, they seemed to hold a little bit more. So I don't know what I did with my measurements, but I certainly messed it up. But here I am going through with a toothpick, trying to get rid of more bubbles that I can see. Be very, very careful because you can scratch your mold and you don't want to do that. I'm just laying the film on top and then we'll make scrunchies. Want to get rid of as many bubbles as you can because the bubbles, while they will leave some really interesting texture, it's not the kind of texture that we're looking for. Because one of them will have a little bubble in it and is very neat looking, but it's not what we're looking for. So we've cooked them. I cooked them for 3 hours in a resin cooker. The cooker is really meant for tumblers, but I used a little piece of tape to try to get the corner off, and it was just being so difficult. This is the reason why I feel that maybe I should have used a thicker, wrap, plastic wrap, I don't know, cellophane, I don't know. Either way, it worked. And one of the things I should have tried is I should have tried to put the powder down on top of the plastic wrap, because the plastic wrap probably would have held onto it a lot better than the very, very, very hard cured resin, which isn't tacky enough. I'll discuss that more later too. But I cooked it too long. I allowed it to get too hard. This particular powder worked a little bit better. It might be finer than the other one, I'm not sure. They're all cheap powders. Most of them are stuff that I've had for years and years and years from back when I was doing nail art. But I mean, this one worked well, and that's okay, because that one's my preferred color anyway. And then this one, it just did not work. It just did not stick as well. I even tried to wet it a little bit with alcohol, and nah, but it's okay. It's all right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a mountain of glitter to the black, because I know that it will sink and it will kind of sort of define the way I want it to. Now, this was a big mistake on my part. I never should have tried this. I put in the glitter and then I put it into the vacuum pot, and then the glitter created a film on top that captured a lot of bubbles. So what I'm doing here is mixing all those bubbles right back in. And then we can watch the bubbles rise to the top and get burst and explode into little glittery explosions. See, watch. I'm gonna do it up close. Poof, 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 poof. Yeah, oh well. So putting it through the vacuum chamber was absolutely useless, because I stirred a whole bunch of bubbles right back into it, but it doesn't matter because it's black. You won't be able to see them anyways, so it's fine. Getting rid of bubbles really only matters on the bottom and on transparent. And I made way too much resin, like I said I was probably going to, so I'm gonna make some pens. I love these pens. They're little shaker pens. I made my own molds for these because the molds that you get are they're like 99-cent molds. So they last, like, if you're lucky, they last 2 or 3 times. If you're not lucky, they only last once. But I like them. One-use pens, you know, whatever. Put little shaker things in them. Woo! So I really like how the glitter splayed out on the top bottom thing, but yeah, look at that. I mean, it works. It definitely works. But the powder just didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. That one worked so good though. You can really see more of the powder and less of the glitter, even though there's just as much glitter in both of them. Either of them? Either way. Well, those worked really well. Simultaneously better than I was expecting, but not quite as good as I was hoping, because this one worked a little bit better than the other one in my personal opinion, because the pigment powders were able to stick to the resin better. I just can't get the purple. You can kind of see the purple. It's green and purple, goddammit. Purple! Give me purple. Anyways, so this one worked a little bit better. Personal opinion, of course, because what happened was I cooked the resin too much, and then I let it sit too long, and it became too solid, and it needed to be ever so slightly tacky in order for the pigment powder to really stick to it. But I mean, it stuck pretty well. But part of the reason why I added all of this glitter is because I knew that it would be heavy and it would settle and it would do this, and it would do basically the same thing except holographic. This one, I guess, is also kind of a yellow, purple, green, I don't know. But this one didn't work as well because it was a different type of pigment powder. It didn't stick down as well. I tried to put as much on as I could to make it stick, but I ended up just filling the gaps with glitter, which is fine. Hello, it's hello. Let's get real close up with this one. Oh yeah, now we can see the purples. Oh yeah, all right. That's cool, right? How cool is that? I will do slow. Trying not to make you sick. We do it slow. But yeah, these worked out pretty well. Not quite the way I wanted them to, but they worked out well enough. And as you can see, there's a lot of little, I don't know if you could see them, but there's a lot of little surface bubbles that stuck to the mold. And you know what? I don't care. I don't care. These are for my personal use. I might take them with me to a convention that's coming up and use them as dice trays. I like that idea. I think I might go with that. But with all that being said and done, and these working as well as they did, I'm very happy with them. And I'm happy that you came and you visited and you went with me on this adventure. As you know, it's not really much of an adventure because we've done this before. But yeah, with all that being said and done, thank you so much for visiting, and I'll see you next week. Stay safe. I got an Abby cat. Oh, I got an Abby cat. Oh, look, the Abby cat. She's such a good girl.